Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Beautiful women have always been like famous generals, no one is allowed to see them grow old. The regret of a beauty fading with time always evokes a sense of sorrow. Yet, some individuals never experience such a regret. For their lives, from start to finish, inspire genuine admiration. Live like the vibrant flowers of summer, die like the quiet, graceful leaves of autumn. Nien Cheng, the author of Life and Death in Shanghai, was one such woman. She was hailed as China's last aristocratic young lady. And though her life was full of challenges, every step she took was marked by resilience and grace. Nien Cheng, originally named Yao Nien Yuan, was born on January 28, 1915, in Beijing. Her grandfather, Yao Jinshi, had been an outstanding candidate in the Imperial civil exams during the Qing Dynasty, entering the Hanlin Academy with great success. Though not a powerful official, his extraordinary talents earned him deep respect. Her father, Yao Qiuwu, studied naval engineering in Japan during the late Qing period. And after returning to China, he joined the Republican government, eventually rising to the rank of Rear Admiral in the Navy, with great influence. Yao Nien Yuan grew up under the protection of her father, enjoying the safety and honor that came with the five-color flag. Her childhood was peaceful, untouched by the ravages of war. Endowed with natural beauty and a gentle, elegant personality, she exhibited a dignified aura even in her youth. She lived up to her father's expectations by enrolling at Nankai Girls' School, founded by the educator Zhang He. Not only was she outstanding in her academic achievements, but she was also exceptionally beautiful, appearing on the cover of Beiyang Illustrated 4 times during her school years, becoming a renowned celebrity of the time. After graduating from Nankai Girls' School, Yao Nien Yuan continued her studies at Nien Cheng University. She later traveled to the United Kingdom to attend the London School of Economics, where she earned her master's degree. During her time in London, she met her future husband, Zheng He. The two talented young people admired each other, fell in love, and eventually made a lifelong commitment, marrying and sharing their lives together. When Zheng He and Yao Nien Yuan returned to China, their wedding had just been held. At that time, the capital of the nationalist government had moved to Chongqing. The couple quickly traveled to Chongqing, determined to contribute to the war of resistance against Japan. In 1937, Zheng He was assigned to work in Australia. Yao Nien Yuan, unwilling to part with her husband, left everything behind to accompany him to Australia. There, Yao Nien Yuan tirelessly supported her husband, actively encouraging the local Chinese community to donate money and supplies to support the war effort. In July 1942, they welcomed their only daughter. The couple was overjoyed, and they named her Zheng Meiping, carrying their hopes and love. In 1949, the couple settled in Shanghai. Zheng He, with his exceptional abilities, became the general manager of the Shell Oil Company's Shanghai office. Yao Nien Yuan spent her free time reading and writing. And though they had been married for many years, their relationship remained deeply affectionate, and their family life was sweet and happy. However, in February 1957, Zheng He was diagnosed with late-stage cancer, and he passed away 3 months later. His death was a huge blow to Yao Nien Yuan, but she quickly recovered and took on the responsibility of caring for her family. 1 month after her husband's death, Yao Nien Yuan began working as an assistant to the general manager at Shell Oil Company in Shanghai. It was at this point that she decided to adopt her husband's surname, changing her name to Nien Cheng, and lived on with strength, carrying his surname. Gradually, Yao Nien Yuan and her daughter's life returned to normal. She never remarried, but instead raised her daughter alone. After work each day, she would change into a comfortable cheongsam, sit in a wicker chair, and elegantly enjoy a cup of floral tea while chatting with her daughter. Spending these peaceful and warm years Her daughter inherited her mother's beauty, becoming an actress in a film company, bearing a striking resemblance to her mother. Meanwhile, Nien Cheng, through years of meticulous care, remained as beautiful and captivating as ever. No less stunning than her youthful daughter. The beauty of the mother and daughter was distinct in its own way. And there was a photograph where the mother exuded grace and the daughter stood in the bloom of youth. Both their appearances and temperaments were awe-inspiring. However, fate seemed unwilling to let her go. In August 1966, Nien Cheng was caught up in China's Cultural Revolution. She was first subjected to endless public criticism. And because of her studies in the UK and her work in a British company, she was labelled as a British spy. In September 1966, Nien Cheng was arrested. At the age of 51, she began a nearly 7-year prison sentence. This experience was more painful than death itself for her. In prison, Nien Cheng endured harsh interrogations, torture, and solitary confinement. But she steadfastly refused to confess to the groundless accusations. The only belief that kept her alive was her daughter. In addition, despite the harsh conditions of prison life, Nien Cheng maintained her dignity at all times. She used sincere words to persuade the prison guards, who then gave her some cleaning tools. Nien Cheng took matters into her own hands, scrubbing that dilapidated, filthy little room until it was spotless. Although the life she faced now was worlds apart from the one she had known, Nien Cheng still made every effort to preserve her dignity and cleanliness. A habit she clung to as a way to endure through her hardships. In 1973, Nien Cheng was finally released from prison, exonerated. After being freed, she was eager to reunite with her daughter, whom she hadn't seen in years. However, when she arrived at her daughter's residence, she was shocked to hear a devastating news: her daughter had committed suicide the year after she was imprisoned. This news was like a thunderclap, and the strong Nien Cheng, who had endured so much in her life, completely collapsed in that moment, crying uncontrollably. She couldn't believe her daughter could be so fragile, and she couldn't accept that her daughter had chosen to take her own life. Nien Cheng was convinced that her daughter must have faced some unknown injustice, and she vowed to uncover the truth. With what little savings and resources she had left, Nien Cheng went to great lengths, secretly investigating the matter. After months of effort, she finally uncovered the truth about her daughter's death. Her daughter hadn't committed suicide, she had been brutally beaten to death and then thrown from a building, with the crime staged to look like a suicide. At the age of 58, Nien Cheng knew that this was a confrontation with unavoidable hatred, and she was determined to avenge her daughter. After years of searching, she finally found the person responsible for her daughter's murder and took the criminal to court, where justice was served. And she successfully avenged her daughter. In 1980, Nien Cheng left Shanghai. Every time she walked down the street and saw young women with black hair, she would be reminded of her daughter. Before leaving, Nien Cheng packed up all the precious artifacts in her home and sent them to the Shanghai Museum. After settling everything, she left the land and moved to the United States. In the US, her life was mostly spent in the company of books. Later, she wrote a book based on her own life, titled Life and Death in Shanghai. This book was not only written for herself but also for her daughter, who had once been far away in China. Upon publication, the book became an international bestseller, moving countless readers to tears. Many people cried because of it. Nien Cheng used the royalties from the book to establish a charity fund specifically for Chinese students studying abroad. In the book, Nien Cheng wrote, "I not only want to survive, but I also want to live with the strength of granite. No matter how harsh the blows are, I must remain pure, cherish myself, and preserve my self-respect." It's worth mentioning that even as she grew older, Nien Cheng maintained an elegant life. By the age of 90, she still painted her eyebrows, wore lipstick, put on earrings, and wore pointed leather shoes, occasionally driving herself out to dance. In 1990, Canadian singer Corey Hart created a piano piece titled Ballade for Nien Cheng in his album Bang, to pay tribute to Nien Cheng. In July 2009, Nien Cheng was accidentally scalded by hot water while taking a bath at home, and later succumbed to a bacterial infection, being hospitalized. She passed away on November 2, 2009, in Washington, D.C., at the age of 94. According to her will, her ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean. She had said that the other side of the Pacific was her homeland, where her loved ones were. She was finally reunited with her husband and daughter. As philosopher Voltaire once said, a true aristocrat is not one born into nobility, but one who maintains the dignity and grace of nobility until the end of their life. This quote perfectly describes Nien Cheng. Even in her old age, she remained a beautiful lady. And even at the end of her life, Nien Cheng was still a figure of nobility, still a true aristocrat. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next time.